Hey everybody, this is DWTV 2010 and I've got for you guys some Battlefield 3 beta gameplay. This is really based on the support class, which is really the only class I've been using a lot so far. So this is what I'm running right now. I got the M249, ACOG, bipod, and extended mags. I like using extended mags when I'm outside and flash suppressor when I'm inside. And I'll get to that, why I like doing that later. So, yeah, this is the beta. People have been complaining about this beta because it's like, oh my god, there's so many glitches. Oh my gosh, I keep dropping games. Well, yeah, fuck you, okay? This beta is awesome. I know it has its share of problems. I know I've been kicked out of my fair share of games, but it's a beta. Chill. People, for some reason, think this is like the final product. This is how it's going to be released, and people are getting turned off by that. Not sexually, you know what I'm talking about, but people like don't want to get the game anymore. It's like, are you serious? This game is awesome. Like, yes, it has its flaws, but that's why it's a beta. This isn't the final product. So people just need to chill out when they think that. So, really, because this is a support class video, I'm going to be talking about LMGs. And so, right now, I'm using the Pecheneg, and I don't particularly like it. I mainly use the M249, just like in this clip I'm using the Pecheneg, and for a little I'm going to be using the Pecheneg because I wanted to get more attachments for it just to see how it was. But you know, I like the M249 more. I already have like I have two service stars on it already. So um yeah, I don't particularly like this iron sight. Maybe that's what kind of turned me off to this gun. And that's also kind of where I'm trying to go first. For LMGs, I like running a 3.4 scope, which is the first scope you get, or the ACOG, which is the 4x scope, which is the last scope I think you get. I think it's the last scope, but it's the ACOG. And I like doing this because there are a lot of long, narrow corridors that you see, and um, having that ability to zoom in like here is just a lot more helpful for picking off people that are at a distance. And so that just makes it incredibly effective. Instead of like using a holographic, which is more for precision than distance like shooting, this works fantastic for like these long narrow corridors, just like here in this clip. Um, Another thing I recommend is using the bipod. There is a foregrip attachment that you can also have, but I don't think it works that well with LMGs. I think that's just based on my opinion. I just don't think it works very well with LMGs. So I prefer to use the bipod at all times because a lot of times I'm in prone, and so in prone or even when you're against objects or like when you can rest your gun on top of the objects, the bipod just makes your aim like 5 times as effective. It makes you so accurate, and it's great. It's fantastic, and I don't even understand why you wouldn't want to have that. So that's another thing. Another thing I'll have to talk about is helping your teammates. Like I always like to stay around my teammates. I always like to help them out with whatever I'm doing. I always like to spawn on them. I like to give them ammo. Like in this clip, like when you're near a bunch of teammates, or just give them ammo. Just drop ammo, and you'll get a shitload of points because almost no one ever is support class. I don't know why. It's great. Like look at all the points I'm racking up just from dropping one resupply box. It's great. And just like that, with the bipod, I would not have killed that guy if I hadn't been using bipod. And so another good thing about LMGs is it's weird. You can scope in pretty quickly, and well, that's just kind of my opinion. So another thing I like to talk about is knifing. Um, Knifing is really only effective if you're behind somebody. So please don't panic knife. Please don't be like one of those Call of Duty faggots who just panic knives whenever they see someone even remotely close to them. Again, I'm not knocking on Call of Duty. I'm just saying, like, that's the only place where it happens. Just please don't panic knife because you're just gonna get screwed. Nothing's good's gonna come out of it, and you know you're gonna die, and you're gonna look like an idiot. You're gonna look like a jackass, and your team's gonna lose because I hate you. So yeah, and so another quick thing I'd like to talk about is with the extended mags attachment on these LMGs, it makes it a lot more efficient because let's say on the M249 you get like 200 bullets, so that you can just tear through people without even caring about reloading, and that's just a lot easier. And for shotguns, if you can use a shotgun in really any class, but Only I prefer only using it when I'm attacking because that's when I'm trying to blow up an NCOM station. That's when I'm running at people. So it's kind of useless when you're like holding back, when you're just kind of waiting for people to come to you. It's kind of retarded, especially like because those long narrow corridors, you're not going to be able to shoot someone from a distance with a fucking shotgun. It's just not even possible, and it's just not going to work. So that's why shotguns are really only effective on offense. Okay, another thing I'd like to talk about is the flash suppressor. Like I said earlier, it's extremely effective on the inside of the metro area because it's usually pretty dark in almost all the areas, and especially when you're like in prone using your bipod looking down the scope, people a lot of times can't see where you are unless you start shooting, and that's when they see the huge muzzle flash, and that's when you get screwed, and that's when they see you and blow you up or whatever they want to do to you. So when using the flash suppressor, they can't see where the flash is coming from. They just, die. And it's like, what happened? Where did these bullets come from? They have no clue. They have no frame of reference to come off of. So they can't just like go into that area hoping you're there because they don't even know where you are. So flash suppressor is just really helpful on the inside. So I suggest using it. Okay, and this is just one last thing. My last piece of advice to you is just play smart. Honestly, you can't be Leroy Jenkins and just charge into everything like nothing mattered, throwing your fucking life away. So it's stupid. Don't do that. And, that's really it. So remember, this is DWTV 2010, and I will see you guys later.